Welcome to our Zoom production of the play, An Intimate Anatomy of Life. My name is Kevin Fulcamo, and I am the director of this production. The characters in our play are historical figures. Dramatic license had to be used to flow scenes, but our playwright, Elizabeth Clark Stern, has done copious research on these seminal figures to portray them as faithfully as possible. One character, Jewel Carver, is a fictional composite used to provide a modern perspective. Our actors will now introduce themselves.
I'm Robert Bergman. I play Carl Jung.
I'm Ann Blake, and I play Barbara Hannah.
I'm Elizabeth Clark Stern, and I play Marie Louise von Franz.
I'm Karlie Markendorf, and I play Jewel Carver.
I'm Tim Nelson, and I play Wolfgang Pauli.
Our unseen sound designer is Donna Lee. We invite you to imagine our setting, the interior of the home in the Swiss countryside of Marie Louise von Franz and her friend and colleague, Barbara Hannah. Now please extinguish your electronic devices, mollify your pets, and sit back and enjoy our play, which begins on a summer night in the year 1970.
You've been up all night writing?
Oh, garbage, unusable.
I can't sleep with you banging around. Is this what you're looking for?
Oh, you found it? Oh.
A diagram, a square, four...
No. An unsent letter.
To him?
Jung?
Oh, dearest, you're a physicist.
He was never my physicist.
You called him Wolfie. I heard you earlier tonight, turning the pages of his letters.
Those ears of yours, like a vampire bat.
If I'm a bat, you're a chicken. Ba-bok, ba-bok. You don't need Jung or Wolfgang Pauli to write this book.
Oh, how would you know? My mind is clawing at itself. Numbers. Oh. I promised Jung that I would demonstrate to the world an elegant theory of numbers that shows that the possibility that the stuff of the mind and the stuff of matter, they are one.
Your direct writing style reaches people that Jung's spiral of genius never could.
Spare me the shallow compliments. I dream I am on a precipice. The world stretched out before me, humanity in all of its suffering, its loneliness, blindness, violence. I see a blue light coming up from this swirling world of women and men, not separate from them, but within them.
What is this blue light? God?
Some would use that language. Some would call it a scientific energy that wants the complete development of our soul.
I had a counting book when I was a child, brightly colored, fuzzy numbers. I loved it. I understood it. What if you begin your Herculean task by writing your number book as a fairy tale?
Write it for children. Only for you, my dear friend. All right, boys and girls. First, we have the number 1, our original wholeness, as we were in the womb.
What is a womb? A flavor pudding?
Very like. Psychologically, we were in the pudding of the womb, complete. Then comes the number 2, introducing the other, the mother, the lover.
You're Wolfie.
Hush, please. Tragically, 2 is also good versus evil, opposition. The Vietnam War protesters versus those who justify war.
A what and a what?
Oh, for you, little girl, the blue fairy and the scary monster.
She hits him on the head with her wand. Pop!
Next comes 3, able to see the split, to hold the tension of opposition. The 3 can be dogmatic, but its very instability can prove creative.
Lost me. I need a lollipop.
3 is like a 3-legged stool. What happens?
I'll fall down.
Next comes the 4, a stable 4-legged stool. What happens?
No fall down.
Wholeness. The blue fairy realizes that she has a scary monster inside of her. So she doesn't bop the monster. She sees him in a different light and treats him differently.
He is still scary.
I'm not trying to deny the existence of evil, but the 4 integrates it all. Oh, but Barbara, how do I write this in scientific language? Give me a match. I will toss these pages into the fire.
Marlus, look out the window.
The great square of Pegasus.
The most beautiful constellation in the sky.
Oh, 4 equidistant stars. In the imagination of the Greeks, a winged horse in full gallop, the head reaching to the North Star, the tail grazing the south, each wing going to the east and the west. Psyche and matter in one magnificent image. Dawn light brushes it away.
It is still there. Expecting someone?
At this hour, they must have lost their way.
Good morning. May I help you?
Good morning. Please excuse me. I know it's early. I came through your garden. There's mud on my shoes. I find the soil of Switzerland beautiful.
Please come in. You're American.
I was. I live nowhere now. I've been wandering through your country. I worked for a few days on a farm near here. The people there had books by a Dr. Carl Jung, each book dog-eared in a basket by the fireplace. They told me to come here to the tower of Marie Louise von Franz and Barbara Hannah. They said you might be able to give me a different view of this frightening, horrible world. You might show me your mind.
My mind?
Please, both of you, your memories, what has happened to you? How did you live to be so old? I'm sorry.
We are old. A badge of honor.
That's cool. The farmer's wife, well, she did most of the work, so let's call her the woman farmer. She said you are doctors, both of you, not of the body, but of the soul. Some say von Franz and Hannah are magical beings, she said, but I think they are down-to-earth women just like you and me who till the soil of the mind.
You hold the earth of our Switzerland in our garden like a precious jewel.
That's my name, Jewel, Jewel Carver. It is so clean.
Clean?
No blood. In America, there is so much blood. Colonialism, slavery, the military-industrial complex. The blood of my brother, Tommy, a soldier in Vietnam. My father, that bastard, all the crap he fed my brother. Go to Nam and show me you can fight like a man. My brother killed soldiers and women and babies. When he came home, he couldn't stop crying. My father, he said, stop sniveling. Go back to Nam and show me you can fight like a man, or you're no son of mine. Tommy hanged himself. I found him in the barn, swaying.
I am so sorry.
How long since this happened?
I don't know. Months, yesterday. I cut him down and wouldn't let my father touch him. Buried him in the prairie where we used to play as kids. Ever been to Montana?
No. Is it beautiful?
It was.
You lived there all your life?
Yeah, on our scruffy little ranch.
I came to Switzerland as a small child. This land is my mother. I would miss her if I ever chose to move away.
I miss Montana. The colors of the sky, red, blue, and gold. But Tommy, it haunts my dreams. I am so sorry. I saw you two, and I just started talking about myself.
Oh, no. You are most welcome to open your heart to us.
Thank you, Frau.
Fraulein, call me Marlos after Marie Louise.
I know it's pushy of me to ask you to tell me or show me the story of how you created this other worldview. It's just, I feel such despair. And I want to leave this screwed up world like my brother, unless I can find a reason to stay.
That is a choice only you can make, my dear.
I know, but I thought if you could tell me the story of your lives and how you found this magic and soul here on bloodless Swiss soil.
Oh, there are, my dear young woman, there are many forms of blood. And magic has its dark side, as do all things. Oh, I can use my imagination, and we can enact from that.
You would do this for me?
I think it is for us as well, my dear, especially for Marlos.
Oh, Barbara teases me, but she's not wrong. Jewel, keep your eyes wide open and come with me into my imagination. Some things I can see very clearly, others are a fog. I will do my best. Began for me in the moist summer of 1933.
Dr. Jung, they've arrived.
How many of them?
10 or so. Blushing boys with big appetites. Do you really want them to see the great Dr. Jung looking like the kitchen help?
They will stare at me skeptically, whether I wear a tuxedo or my birthday suit. I much prefer my neighbors, the farmers who bring me vegetables in exchange for my books. Is not a blushing boy.
Dr. Jung, is it really you?
May I introduce Fräulein Marie Louise von Franz.
How old are you, Fräulein?
18?
Can you chop vegetables?
Oh, I'm much better at chopping away at political theories.
Are you a communist?
With a little c. An atheist through and through, devoted to the empirical study of science, including the study of the mind.
My dear British swan, please show the boys down to the lake. They can amuse themselves while Fräulein and I make lunch.
Dr. Jung, Fräulein.
Are you afraid of me?
Oh, you are Carl Jung. They say you can see inside a person's unconscious just by being in the same room with them.
Ah, that is a new one. I'm not interested in your mind at the moment, Fräulein, only your chopping hands.
Your words are false. You are only interested in my mind, or I wouldn't be standing here.
You are much braver than you pretend. What are you most curious about, Fräulein?
Oh, everything. What is the substance of our minds, our hearts, the stars? Who are we beneath this petty jealousies and confusion about what we want in the world? How do we act in harmony with our own deepest nature and inspire love and justice in a violent world?
Ah, it is gloriously clear to me that you know what you want.
Is it? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Whatever for?
Oh, I should be well-mannered. I should not be so outspoken.
Who said so? Your mother? You don't want to talk about your mother.
I spent a great deal of my childhood hiding.
From her? It is a hazard to the psyche, the soul, to hide from yourself. If you choose, you could enter analysis with me.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I barely have enough money for food.
I am researching many subjects that would be of interest to you. What if we trade? Help me in my research, and I will help you descend into the unconscious, this hiding place you share with your mother.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Jung.
You are welcome. Now to lunch. Chop, Fräulein, chop!
Oh, Ms. Marlis, Jung saw your brilliance the moment he laid eyes on you.
He was a man of many dimensions. Now, you can help us continue the story. At about the time I met Jung, not too far away in Austria, there was a man, a very brilliant and troubled man. Will you help me enact the women in his life?
Why would I do that?
A favor to me. I can manifest Jung and Pauli in my mind, but the women of Wolfgang Pauli, it is too painful. I cannot do it without your help.
You loved him?
Will you do it?
I don't know. What if I have to use some unknown parts of myself?
That is the tricky part. You may discover parts of yourself you don't particularly like.
You frighten me.
It is a precarious journey.
Proceed. Do not be gentle. I want to know the all of me.
Good. First, you must play an Austrian prostitute.
How?
Trust me. This time, close your eyes and enter into my imagination.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait.
Is that enough cash so you get more than Madame Brothel?
If I were a saint, I wouldn't charge you at all.
Huh. If you were a saint, I wouldn't have tried to have my way with you. Come here.
No, you had your chance.
You could help me. No, no, please. I am deplorable.
Ugh, the Shiner is no worse than last week.
I have an important appointment this morning. The illustrious Carl Jung.
Duh! You aspire to something other than brawling and booze?
I must be presentable.
You're hopeless. Let me see that. I will cover it with makeup. What is your job anyway?
I am in the physics department at the university.
What's physics?
My colleague, Max Born, said, physics is the endeavor to unify laws of the universe.
What? You're joking.
No, I do that for a living. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
They know how to unify the universe.
Bad joke. I work with great scientists who are trying to unify physics with numbers. I made fun of them, but turns out they're right. Electrons have 4 quantum numbers, not 3.
What?
4 rather than 3 means it is a more elegant and complicated journey for the electrons inside an atom to make your jar of makeup.
So they thought it was only 3, but now it takes 4 of these electrics to make up the stuff of the universe?
That is essentially correct. Why aren't you in school? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Oh.
Dr. Pauli.
Dr. Jung, thank you for seeing me.
You sent me 400 dreams. A first.
I thought they might interest you.
Most people are concerned only with themselves, the anxieties and conflicts of their own lives. You care about, one might say, are obsessed with a much larger scope of inquiry, the form and substance of the entire universe.
It's driving me mad.
The universe?
The scramble to stay on top.
You have 1 Nobel Prize. Must you have more?
Of course. I can only do that by disproving, or as I put it to them, improving The likes of Bohr, Einstein, and my new pupil, this American called Oppenheimer.
As I feared. You are all puffed up.
I beg your pardon.
I fear you are quite drunk on the grand liquor of brilliance and fame.
I came here not because I am a man among men. I am no man at all. I whore and get into drunken fights every night. Incredibly, I manage to put my brain on every morning, like a rabbi puts on his yarmulke.
You are Jewish.
From my father, man I hate most in the world. He left my mother and I for his mistress. Oh, my mother killed herself. She loved opera. She taught me to love it. She was a Gentile, so I cannot be a Jew.
But you are seen as Jewish in the eyes of the world.
I don't care about the eyes of the world.
Oh, yes, you do. That's why you're here. You need to be analyzed by a woman. I am sending you to one of my best students, Fräulein Rosenbaum.
Student?
A woman who can help you make the long, slow descent from your ego into the feminine caverns of your soul.
Oh, my soul. There is no such thing, except for religious nuts. They say you are not a scientist at all. You hide behind psychology, but you are actually a mountebank.
You are in great pain, my friend. Fräulein Rosenbaum will help you.
You are a clever deceiver. I will give it a week.
What a vision you have created for me. I feel lighter somehow, like when I first started eating only plants.
Oh, there is a lightness when you first feel the presence of soul.
Marlos, not too fast.
You don't mean like what I grew up with in church. Do this to save your soul. Do that and you'll go to hell. It's something else, like something we see in our dreams. Tommy had nightmares before he went to Nam. He woke with his guts churning, and he felt this terrible sense of doom. He went to Nam anyway. In our family, you couldn't say no to Dad. So what good is your wavy world of soul?
Oh, a very important question. If you are split off from your true nature, it can create many problems.
I hate my father, but I keep dreaming of him like he was when I was growing up. I called him Daddy, and he would sit by my bed at night, reading me the story of Rumpelstiltskin. And when Mama had the myeloma, I'd come home from school and he'd be sitting by her bed, reading aloud from Heidi, her favorite from her youth.
I am so sorry you lost your mother.
Such a terrible disease.
I dreamed last night that my mother had died and left something for me in her bedroom. I go in, and there's a letter to me from Mama, created in white lace. It stretches out across the bed and beyond, and there is no end to it.
No interpretation needed for such a dream.
Your mother is here within you, a letter in lace.
Enough about me. What has it been like for you, surrounded by all these genius men wanting something from you?
Who told you that?
The woman farmer. She said maybe the biggest miracle about you and Marlis is that you worked under these amazing men, and yet you were able to begin to build your own professional lives at a time when women weren't supposed to do that.
It is an ongoing creative act. We will show you how it began.
You are quite a revolutionary to be so fascinated with the psychological interpretation of fairy tales.
One day, I will compile my essays into a book.
I will help you.
Oh, you can help me act out the stories.
Brilliant. I will play the witch.
Oh, no, the prince.
The village idiot.
Oh, we can use that technique you've been writing about.
It was Jung's notion.
Oh, yes, yes, but you have put your own stamp on it.
Active imagination, as opposed to passive.
I love you. Every night when you leave to go to your house, I prowl around mine, around here, writing down ideas.
Not me. I climb upstairs to my bed and pop off to sleep.
I wear you out.
You do. 25 years makes a difference in the stamina department.
Oh, I don't think of you as 25 years older. Your spirit, Barbara, is as young as a druid in the woods.
Well, someone has been ruminating on our age difference.
Why would he give two hoots about that?
He's thinking about your pill of a mother.
My mother?
He drew me aside and said I should propose that we live together so you could experience what it's like to live with a good mother figure.
Did you tell him we're way ahead of him?
Didn't get around to that.
Excellent. Let him think it was his idea.
Because we are not frilly ladies, he assigns us to the island of Lesbos partnership.
We must be lesbians if we don't throw ourselves at men.
Do you really need a good mother?
I need a good friend, and more than that, for you and I share far more than gardening and the shape of teacups.
Anam Cara,
What?
from my ancient Celtic roots, soul friend.
Anam Cara. And will you be my ally in creating our own form of power?
And yet we are women.
Yes. And in the 20th century, we benefit from the coattails of famous men like all the women before us, but our voices will be our own.
Fantastic. And if people think we're lesbians, that's their problem.
Around that time, I first saw him. Even before I knew his name, Wolfgang Pauli, I knew he was from another world. He walked very fast, as if trying to catch a train that would never stop. Can you imagine the dueling forces within him? He created chaos wherever he went. Windows shattered on his approach, machines exploded, cranes fell from the sky, never harming him, but destroying everything around him. My guilty pleasure was imagining what passed in the analytical hours between him and Dr. Jung.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will replace it.
The Chinese vase.
I'm so sorry it leapt from your shelf.
I think you can't help it. Some energy field you put off unconsciously. From now on, I will hide all breakables before you come.
I'm deeply grateful you have at last agreed to analyze me in spite of your gender.
The outward form of man or woman belies the inner complexity of the soul.
Is this a new theory? A year ago, you said I needed to see a woman.
Consistency is overrated. It can lead to dogma.
And yet the biology of gender is what we live in. That man from Denmark who became a woman.
Tragic. The operation killed him.
They say he died happy.
So, if this makes sense to you, I believe you needed Fräulein Rosenbaum, a woman. At the beginning of your treatment, she reported you had such emotion, you rolled around on the floor.
It's humiliating. If it ever got out.
Reputation. I have lost my reputation. I have lost the immortal part, sir, of my soul.
Othello.
Ha! Talk of a man who had problems with women. I tease you. But I too am ruled by a fear of what people think if I write about the unus mundus, matter and the unconscious linked in ways we have only begun to investigate.
What? Psyche and matter. Both real worlds together.
Real. Intertwined realities.
You have proof?
I have data. Theories I've been too chicken to present.
Reputation.
I fear ridicule as much as you do.
Implications. If this could be proven to the world.
Consciousness accountable to itself.
Moral consciousness, creating a moral world.
You always do this. Demert me into theory when we should be talking about your unus mundus, the split with you and your soul.
Did I hear them correctly? Dr. Jung, did he really say consciousness accountable to itself? And Dr. Pauli, moral consciousness creating a moral world? Why didn't they dash out that very day and announce this to the whole world?
You heard why.
Reputation. It makes my blood boil to think they were so chicken shit.
Oh, yes, my dear. Oh, yes. But our story continues. Jewel, will you play another woman in Pauli's life?
Another whore?
Oh, no. We would love you to play the woman who, to this day, obstructs the publication of the Pauli Jung letters. Franca, the woman who would become his wife.
I didn't know you were at this party, Herr Pauli.
I'm not. That is, I came late, and now it is almost over.
Why did you come?
I was working late, so I came late.
Did you come to see me?
Well, here you are.
And here you are.
Someone said you might need a ride home.
What scandal? Who told you?
Someone. No one?
I would like to meet them, this no one.
Oh, you wouldn't like them. They're not.
I suppose.
I suppose I could take you along.
Oh, I suppose you could learn some manners.
I'm a scientist, no good at society. Please forgive me.
You are not like other men.
I am a muddle.
I am unmarried because I have been searching for a different kind of man. Perhaps such a man would be able to say, "Forgive me," and mean it.
I have been shy of women of quality, and yet I am an arrogant bastard in so many things. How could a good woman live with such a man?
I can be an arrogant bastard myself. I've never admitted that to any man. I think you may have some things to teach me, Dr. Pauli.
About physics?
No, Herr Pauli. About what it means to know a man so passionately devoted to the truth. So Pauli and Franca fall in love?
They marry. She is devoted to him. But not long after this, a very dark chapter opened in our lives.
Enough of this retrospective. I'll fetch some pastry from town.
Oh, it happened, Barbara. You cannot sweep it under the rug.
Why not? You do it all the time, giving those sweet interviews to eager young academics. Jung came to understand the nature of evil.
Oh, he did. And what an enormous price he paid for it.
What are you talking about?
Please, do we really need to get to this?
Yes, because we are women passionately devoted to the truth.
Geschieht nur etwas, nämlich die Erkenntnis, dass man den Folgen dieses Verbrechens nur dann wird begegnen können.
Your book, Dr. Jung?
Yes. The Norse warrior king, Wotan, an archetype, come to earth in this man, Adolf Hitler. Who would have believed that a whole nation of highly intelligent and cultivated people could be possessed by an archetype and not know it?
Dr. Jung, you are possessed by the king warrior, and you don't know it.
What? Absurd. The train leaves for Berlin in half an hour. Which one of you will drive me to the station?
Freud has fled to London. His books are banned and burned by the Third Reich, called filthy Jewish psychiatry.
Psychiatry and psychoanalysis itself is under attack.
I am not under attack.
Because you write such terrible things. The Nazis love you. Remember, Barbara, what he wrote yesterday?
You wrote, the Aryan unconscious has a higher potential than the Jewish.
Are you still trying to be a bigger man than Freud?
They say your writings are the grease behind the Nazis' treatment of Freud's brethren, the Jews.
Stop talking about Freud. I broke off with him years ago. This is my time to rise. I don't expect women to understand what goes on in the soul of a man. I know same-sex couples bicker among them each other all the time. You two must have grown weary of pecking at each other and take it out on me. Sheer projection.
Come, Marlus.
Yes, my dear friend. Dr. Jung, you can find someone else to drive you to the station. Jung went to Berlin. Pauli became aware of how vulnerable he was as a Jew. It was not long after that I first met him as I planted flowers in Frau Jung's garden.
Oh, you are Dr. von Franz.
Oh, you caught me with my hands in Swiss soil.
Strange, we have not met.
Oh, you come and go here quite immersed in thought.
Immersed. Very charitable. More like possessed. Is he here?
You have an appointment?
No, I have been aware of this muddle for some time and have only managed letters. I wanted to say a temporary goodbye to him.
Of course. He has lost many good people over this muddle, as you call it.
I don't know what to believe about his activities.
I cannot speak for him. Please continue to write to him. He will write you back.
My wife is furious.
Oh, yes, I had heard you married Fraulein Franca. Congratulations.
Thank you. Odd, but Jung has never cared for her, and she certainly doesn't like him. Even before the situation in Germany, she called me a boy for my total dependence on Jung's magical personality.
Is she correct?
No. No, now more than ever, Jung and I have evolved into a peer relationship that is, frankly, electrifying.
Oh, I have always believed that if psychology does not keep pace with the advancements in other scientific fields, we will fall off into deserved obscurity. This amuses you.
Your face, when you said it, so earnest, so unaware of how lovely you are.
I have no idea how to respond to you, Dr. Pauli.
Oh, I often get that look from women who don't know how beautiful they are. Please give my regards to Dr. Jung. I'm off to America, Princeton. The Jewish threat against me is very real.
Oh, of course. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Anam cara.
Is that Latin?
Celtic. Anam, soul. Cara, friend.
Soul friend.
Perhaps that describes you and Dr. Jung, in spite of all the machinations of the world.
That word, machinations, has an academic ring to it.
What would you call it?
Evil. An evil plot to tear us all apart and dominate the world.
speak with Dr. Pauli, not as a character in his life, but as myself. Can I cross the barrier of time and play myself in this one?
Some say there are no barriers to the imagination. I think there are many. But for now, please, Jewel, take down time and space and come with us. Bring us with you into Pauli's world of 1945, even as you remain secretly to him in present day 1970.
Won't it be confusing?
Only for Pauli, if you let on.
Your homework is to write 4 pages, single-spaced, in your own words, describing my exclusion principle. Yes, miss, I don't recognize you. Have you lost your way?
I haven't registered here at Princeton yet, but I have a very important question for you, Dr. Pauli.
I should charge you for the answer.
Go ahead. I can afford it.
Have you been stalking me?
I want to know what you think about what America did in murdering all of those innocent Japanese people at Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I had a student, a very brilliant young man named J. Robert Oppenheimer. When the war broke out, he contacted me to come and work on his team to build a nuclear bomb. I declined. I feel ashamed for my profession, that our work, which is meant to unlock the secrets of the universe, has become a tool of the scientific military machine of the United States. Class dismissed.
I'm sorry if I put you on the spot, Professor.
It doesn't matter. This is my last semester. What can they do? Fire me?
It was very brave what you said.
Not really.
I wish my brother could have taken your course.
He liked physics?
It might have helped him make some different choices with regard to the war.
He was not brave.
I would never call him a coward, but he did not have access to his own mind. As I say this, I realize that my father did not have access to his either. They were both responding to the same thing that pushed America to drop the bomb.
What is your name?
Jewel Carver, from Montana.
You have traveled very far.
You have no idea.
What was it in your father and brother that kept them from accessing their own minds?
Who they thought they had to be men.
I understand that very well. Who are you?
Jewel Carver, from Montana.
That's who you are in the world of matter. Who are you in the world of the unconscious?
You are longing to be close to the woman in your dreams.
Yes. My soul.
So diva, Costa diva, che in argenti, queste sacre queste sacre antiche piante.
I want you. I fear you.
Oh, beautiful.
Your voice as his soul.
I feel sorry for Dr. Pauli. I think we all do.
It was a torturous decline for him. Returning to Switzerland after the war, he returned to Jung.
Dr. Pauli,
Dr. Jung,
was a magnificent thing you did, shunning Oppenheimer and the whole damn bomb makers at Los Alamos.
thank you.
I cheered when I heard you had denounced the American war machine, returning to Europe with your head held high.
I was pleased to hear you renounce the Nazis in the end. But where were you, Dr. Jung, when you went to meet the Führer? Where was your ethical soul, your unus munus? In hell?
I was seized by the archetype power, like your Oppenheimer. And for what it's worth, both of us regretted it. He said, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I said, the Third Reich is the greatest evil on earth. I see your truth. I am too late. You're Oppie, too late. The bombs were dropped. My early foolish words gave steam to the Nazis' persecution of the Jews.
You weep. I am grateful for that.
Pauli and Jung salvaged their intellectual collaboration, but their analytical relationship was over. It was thus that Pauli ended up searching beyond farmsteads and quiet valleys in our secret garden of images and dreams. Don't step on the peonies.
Oh, I won't, though Rumpelstiltskin would trample all the flowers in the garden to get to the young maiden.
You should play the ingenue.
Oh, I'm too short.
I don't even have a name. All the fairy tales begin with a beautiful daughter or a young maiden.
You will be brilliant, as the British say.
I need a wig of long tresses. My father has no mind in his brain or warmth in his soul. To curry favor with the king, he claimed I, his beautiful daughter, could spin straw into gold. My father knows I cannot spin anything, not even wool. The king locked me in here and will have my head if I don't turn straw into gold by dawn's light.
Now there, dear young maiden.
Who are you?
Ah, my name is never to be known, but I can help you. What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold for you?
Who's there?
That's not in the script. Dr. Pauli. Oh.
This is your garden. How astonishingly beautiful. Please forgive me, Dr. Hanna. Could you give me some time with Dr. von Franz alone?
Marloes?
Yes, Barbara, please.
Dr. Pauli? Marloes?
I'm sorry to interrupt your work.
You are not well.
I feel a darkness inside of me, like hot oil in my belly. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream. I keep seeing the face of my mother right before she took her own life.
Have you seen Dr. Jung?
I need your help, Dr. von Franz. I met her. At least that's what I think it was. She first appeared in material form. Then she sang to me my favorite aria, Costa Diva, a woman praying to the moon for peace. She seemed like the dark woman of my dreams.
Well, that's all very well and good, no doubt. Quite exciting. What matters is what you do in the world.
What are you doing here? Did I give you enough money?
What?
I don't want the madam to get it all. You put makeup on my eye. Oh, very kind.
I'm not a madam.
No, a whore. I have a secret. Scientists don't know what light is. All we know is that for certain controlled experiments, it is a particle, in others, a wave. But what light is in itself is not known.
Wolfie, it is Marloes.
Marloes. Oh, dear God, help me.
I will. My analysis with Wolfie was like no other. We took long walks together, sat by the lake for hours, wrote to each other when we were apart, our minds on fire.
The wind picked up. Help me turn the sail.
Oh, like this?
I will hire you any day.
Oh, crewing, my next career. Do you promise?
Whatever you want, Dr. Marloes.
Oh, the wind blew away the clouds.
Stars so bright the birds will sing, thinking it is not night.
I know what play that's from.
We are too old to be Romeo and Juliet.
Who are we to each other?
You're my analyst, I your analysand. We could also be lovers. Forgive me, I break the rules.
We are soul friends.
We are. And yet, I feel desire.
Tell me about the stars in relation to number and time.
Do you see the great square of Pegasus?
What? Oh. You're incorrigible.
You are beautiful. though you go to great lengths to hide it.
I've never seen the square of Pegasus so bright.
It, sure enough. I can find no penis on that pony.
No penis on that pony. You're incorrigible.
You, Dr. Marlos, are incorrigible.
Oh. Look out. A wave. I came home quite late that night. Barbara was waiting up with a pot of tea and warm towels, her eyes as big as a schoolgirl's. "Ooh, did he kiss you? What happened?" I went on and on about the fantastic world of physics that Pauli opened up for me, and I could really understand it. We talked until dawn. Pauli came home to a very different situation that night.
Everybody's hard to love someone when that someone don't love you. I'm so disgusted, heartbroken too. I've got those downhearted blues.
Rough sailing.
You waited up for me.
Your dinner is in the parlor. Cold.
Oh, so sorry. Dr. von Franz and I got caught up in a discussion of physics.
Did you? How charming.
I believe she came to a basic understanding of photons and light, among other theories.
Did she? Must have been gratifying for you. I am hopeless in that department.
You have many other outstanding traits.
She must have looked more attractive in the moonlight.
Actually, there was no moon. Made the stars more resplendent.
You've received a letter of invitation in the post.
The University of Zurich, requesting a lecture on my theories regarding all the latest developments in the field.
Quite prestigious.
To be sure.
Promise you won't wear that shabby brown jacket of yours.
That offends your sensibility, does it?
Don't tease. This is a very important opportunity in your career. And don't you dare read that paper you've been working on with that old wizard.
Perhaps this invitation is a message delivered in fine embossed silk ink, rather, not to Wolfgang Pauli, the physicist who must wear a slick black suit, but to my soul, to assert her reality to the world in my scruffy brown jacket.
You're insane. Deep inside, you know the consequences to you and to me if you introduce your love affair with Jung's ideas to your Nobel buddies.
Oh, dearest, please. I'm suddenly very tired. And hungry for the cold supper you left for me in the parlor. Will you sit with me? Tell me about your day.
First, I will warm your supper.
My love.
Franca gave him what she could, her love, her social status. I waited for him to come back to me.
Marlos, he's here,
How does he look?
like he wants to burn down the house. He still owes you for the cracked glass in the Chagall.
She came again.
Oh, last night in your dream?
Singing to me.
You fear she is a siren luring you out to sea?
Oh, no. You are off the mark again. You are not as good as Jung. He could slide his interpretations in like a thin blade right into my ribs. You flap like a hapless duck.
I should never have agreed to walk with you, see you outside the consulting room. Your heart, your soul got too close to me. You skipped our last session.
I was writing my lecture.
Stop lying to me.
You're so beautiful when you're angry.
Oh, did you see that in some American movie? Or are you really a man who sees women as toys?
I don't see you as a toy.
You don't see me as an equal. You believe that I don't know that you delivered your last lecture on psyche and matter and skipped the first word entirely?
I will not introduce the world of the unconscious to my scientific colleagues until I have a provable theorem.
Oh, my God, I see what this is about. You cannot hide from your deepest humiliation. You could not stop Oppenheimer. You cannot take back those bombs, bring those Japanese children back to life, even as you could not save your mother from killing herself.
Stop it! You drag me into hell!
Oh, you project this tragedy of mother onto the whole world. Your soul wants to be free of this.
Damn my soul! What good is she? I have won a Nobel Prize. I won't strip myself of my standing in the world because you want me to. I won't give you that power, Dr. Marie Louise von Franz.
No, you give it to your wife.
How would you know what I give to my wife? You know nothing of intimacy, unless it's with that old hag you live with. I hope the rumors are true. Otherwise, you're a brain walking around with no idea what it means to be a woman.
Your soul, it's in great danger. My heart weeps for you.
I'm going. I won't be back. Did I break anything open this time?
No, unfortunately. Goodbye, Dr. Pauli.
Goodbye, Dr. von Franz.
I never saw him again. He moved to Munich with Franke. Then one day, I felt very strange. The ground seemed to wobble beneath my feet. Yet I knew I was standing still. Then I got a note that Jung was down by the lake, wanting to see me. Dr. Jung, are your feet freezing?
Yes. The lake has the chill of melting snow from our mountains. Please join me.
There's bad news. Pauli?
He collapsed at a seminar. It has spread. He has little time.
Cancer? Oh, he who penetrated the intimate organism of time.
It is a profound loss. He could have been the other voice with me in unifying science and the anima mundi, the world soul. I dream of a great darkness for humanity. Unless we can transform it into the wholeness of the four, I predict that nature herself will take a hand. Great floods, fires, global diseases.
Oh, Jung, he's going. I can, as we speak, I can feel it.
O diva, tempora Tempra ancora, tempra ancora, cielo dolce.
You are here.
You called me to come.
I pushed you away so many times.
Not this time.
Oh, no. I only want to be close to you. Hear your song. Oh.
Tempra today,
Thank you, my dear Jewel, for being his soul in the final moments.
It is I who should thank you. Through your story, I have seen my own. There is a violence in me. I blamed Daddy for an evil that was much larger than him. I must go home, hold my father's hand, take him to the prairie where Tommy is buried, and we will grieve together.
A triumph for you, dear Jewel.
Oh, yes, dear Jewel. And now, I understand something as well. They say there are two forms of time, ordinary time, and today we have brushed the wheel of particle and wave, eternal time. Oh, Barbara, Jewel, can you feel it? The possibilities, the four, alive in now, in our lives, and in the future that waits for us all.
Please give our actors a round of applause. And let's applaud our sound designer, Donna Lee.
Hurrah!
And bravo to our playwright, Elizabeth Clark Stern.
Our director, Kevin Filicamo. Yes.
Thank you all for attending our Zoom production of An Intimate Anatomy of Light. Please take good care.